Hello guys, now that Yanagi's kit is out, let's analyze her ability to determine if she's worth pulling for. We'll start with her core passive, then see how she'll function since her core passive says everything about the agent that we're analyzing today. Yanagi is a semi-on-field damage dealer focused on shock. Imagine playing Grace and with Burnice. That's basically how her playstyle would work, but more on that later. Her kit is heavily reliant on the disorder mechanic, as indicated by her core passive. When Moon City Yanagi activates the X special attack and hits the enemy, the target enters a tremor state. Enemies in the tremor state receive a 40% increased electric attribute damage from Yanagi's attack. When triggering the disorder effect, the damage multiplier of disorder is increased by 600%. The tremor state lasts up to 15 seconds, and reapplying the state refreshes the maximum duration. Looking at this already, we can tell that she requires someone that can trigger Anomaly fast, and at the same time can be off-field. And who else do we have? None other than Burnice. In other words, if you don't have Burnice in your team, at least for now, since we don't have any A-rank agents that can do the same job as Burnice, I would recommend not pulling her, at least for now. However, let's get into her kit and see how things go for now. Overall, her kit revolves around Disorder, and in case you don't know what Disorder is, it's basically overwriting another anomaly. As an example, if you apply Burn on an enemy and then apply another element, it triggers Shock for example. This will apply Disorder, plus the effect that the agent is applying. In this case, we're going to use Yanagi with her Shock. And the scaling is pretty high, and this is just an assumption with her so far. Seeing the best team we could use on Yanagi, it would be Burnice and Caesar. The buffs that Caesar provides, which is the 1000 attack, plus the shield, along with Burnice's overall damage, since she'll be capable of applying burn on-field and off-field, we can see them exceeding the 3.2 million DPR on the sheets. And in theory, this can seem as impossible, but keep in mind that this game has way higher DPS and DPR than other Hoyo games. As an example we could use is Genshin. And let's also keep in mind that the Burnice and Yanagi in this sheet are already holding their best in slot W engines. So now that we've seen the calculations, what do we expect Yanagi to do? In general, we can see her thriving in the future thanks to Burnice. As I've mentioned earlier in my videos, Burnice unlocks the potential that every anomaly agent needs, and they have to be heavily tied to her. Until the release of an A-rank agent, it wouldn't be recommended, at least for now, to pull her. Sadly, we don't have any A-rank, so we're stuck with this choice as of now. Before people consider switching out characters, I did some tests with other anomaly units. I tried placing Piper with Yanagi and that with the new set, and the results were very depressing. They were holding around 1.4 million DPR, and even when I did some testing, as my friend Kete the 7th asked me, I tested with Jane Doe and Yanagi comps, and it didn't reach the full potential it had with Burnice. And while the difference between Jane Doe and Burnice is 1.1 million DPR, this might be the least decent option as of now. You could tell that Yanagi's DPR and DPS without Burnice decreased massively. The character's overall damage has decreased, and while people are wondering why the DPR on Yanagi is decreasing majority of the time, it's because of the disorder. Let me explain this real quick, so it doesn't seem like I'm making this character look bad generally. If disorder is mixed with physical or freeze, their scaling is lower than the majority of all disorders that we currently have. So would I recommend Yanagi for anyone that can play her without Burnice? No. If you really want her full potential, she's going to be needing Burnice more than anything at the moment. And I've calculated majority of the options that we currently have with Yanagi, and the results were depressing, even for an anomaly unit. She'd go down in performance due to the lack of synergy and other element applications with her. If you want to unlock Yanagi's full potential, Burnice is a must-pull unit in this case. And honestly, it's kind of sad to see Hoyo going with this character without releasing at least an A-rank agent that can act as an off-field for her. With that being said, we're still at the beginning of the game, so a lot of things might change. As for her build and rotation, her build is quite simple. You're going to go for 4-piece Chaos Jazz with 2-piece Freedom Blues. Since she's going to be using Chaos Jazz with Burnice, the idea here is to switch around with your characters and staying with Caesar on field. Not majority of the time, but at least pairing with her skill once. Keep in mind that we need to have the Chaos Jazz on Yanagi. As her damage contribution is high without the 4-piece effect, it would be nice at least to dish in some attacks that could help her damage increase. The chain or the ultimate would be used on Burnice and not Yanagi to keep up the disorder damage, and that's how she gains her damage on cheats. And keep in mind as well that this is just a theory craft. When we get her for sure things might change, while testing the agent, but as of now, this is what I consider to be useful, at least for Yanagi. As for her W engines, obviously her W engines are going to vary, but the best options are Electro Lip Gloss, Rainforest Gormant, Weeping Gemini. It might be the best option for her. And obviously her best in slot W engine, providing her with whatever stats she needs, and of course buffing her skill and X special with anomaly build-up rate increasing to 30%. And if you use her skill or X special, on top of that, it adds 75 anomaly proficiency, and if your Yanagi has anomaly that is above 400, she will deal 25% extra damage. That's all thanks to her W engine. And that's it, we have reached the end. My apologies for not uploading consistently, but hopefully I've earned your subscription today. If I didn't, let me know in the comment section below if I said anything wrong, or if my calculations were wrong. Also, I'd like to promote my Discord server. I'd love for the community to grow and have nice people in it. And one last shout out to both Kateda7th and Thunda for helping me throughout this journey on my YouTube channel. Hopefully this journey continues. See you later.